Hey folks, it's Dave here, and today I'm taking a first look at Mean Gene's matchup football from Downey Games. This came in the mail yesterday, and I actually played it a little bit before work last night, and I enjoyed it so much. I played it around midnight when I got home from work last night, and first thing this morning with a cup of coffee, and I'm starting to get a feel for it, so I wanted to do a first look video because I know a couple people have been asking, what does Mean Gene look like? And I haven't found any videos on YouTube myself, so I thought I would do one of my own. First things first, I am no in any way associated with Mean Gene Football or Downey Games. I'm not an expert at the game. This is not meant as a tutorial for the game. This is me just playing the game and having some fun, okay, especially with a first look. I may or may not be playing this game 100% correct, and I also may throw in some of my own rules to make it fun for me. So, all that being said, that's out of the way. I think this video will give you a pretty good idea on how the game plays. Okay, first things first, you do get all your instructions here, and they're pretty good. I'd like to see them a little bit more in depth to cover some of the specialty things, but for the most part, it does a pretty good job. And some of the stuff that I couldn't figure out with this, it made sense the more I play the game. Okay, you do get a chart here, and what I do like about that chart, you see how it's got all the individual numbers, so you could actually put right on the 34, the 33. You could really get into that and see where the ball is. I do like that. And then you have your time here, your quarter, your downs, and your score. So everything will be little pegs to put on there, and they actually give you these things that you can cut out and put on there, ball markers, discs, first down chains, the whole bit, okay? And then you get a couple of score sheets and whatever. So you do get that. I'm using this big thing here that I took off an electric football game. It's actually the first time I'm using it. It's really old. It's probably from the 60s, so it's pretty beat up. I found it in the trash, but it'll work good here for what I'm doing today. Okay, you also get some optional rules in this game. Okay, so if you want to do an offensive versus defensive matchup a little bit better, if you want to, have runs and passes or, whatever. If you read these here, you can get a little bit more complicated than the basic rules. There's also something in here for looking at fumbles a little differently. There's actually a fumble and a loss chart, kind of similar to fast action football. That's in the optional rules. Otherwise, it's just a simple flip of the card to determine who gets the fumble. But you have some optional rules, okay? What I do like, and I'll show you the cards in 1 second, is that you get these here, okay? And these things show you the fast action card, what everything is, and also the fast result card, what everything is. And this is really key because sometimes I'm like, what column do I go to? And this really spells it out when you get into trouble as far as where am I looking, because there's a lot to this game. It's not complicated, there's just a lot to it. Okay, let me show you the cards now. So first, the fast action card, okay? Now let me get you a good one here. The print is, these are really thin. They print it out nice, but they're just thin, so I'm getting used to that. So anyway, so that's what you got here, okay? So you can go outside run left, you can go inside run left, a dive, a run right, or an outside run right. Now, outside runs tend to go out of bounds, you get more yardage, potentially more fumbles, okay? Inside, a little short yardage, a little safer. Then you have your five passes. You got short left, slant, short right, medium, and long. So you have some variety in your plays, okay? And then on here, you have your a couple of penalties. You got your kicking. You have your penalties, and then you got a couple of random numbers here, as well as your punting. So, and they're the same on both sides. So supposedly this is a no shuffle deck. So everything's the same on both sides. So theoretically, you could go through the deck and just keep on flipping without shuffling. Your fast result cards, okay? This is what you got here. So you got your rushing column, your receiving column, your passing column, long gains, returns. Oh, sorry about that. Then you got some random numbers here. So this is a 1 to 100 number, and 1 to 100 number. And what they say is this is to identify the player. 1 to 100. Use the left column for first half, the right column for second half. Okay, these are some random gains or losses. So you get the plus and the plus plus. This is just, sometimes you'll get a gain plus. So say 5-yard gain plus, so 5-yard gain plus 2. If you went to this card, it'd be a 5-yard gain plus 1. Okay, red indicates that if you look at the charts and it lands in red, that's a 6-yard gain and a fumble at the end, okay? Blue is out of bounds, so if you're using the stop chart, that's how you would do that. So these are the same on both sides as well. So there's a lot of little nuances about this game. Sometimes you'll pick a play, flip a card, and it tells you exactly what happens, and you're done. Other times it's got some special symbols, and that's when I have to go here and really dig into what's going on. Because it is, I don't want to say complex, but there's just a lot to it. So there's a lot of symbols in it. So I always have my chart open here so I can get right at it because I'm still learning the game. Okay, so I'm playing Cincinnati, New England. And so, let me see. So I got, Brady Garoppolo and Jacoby Brissett are my quarterbacks. Gostkowski is my kicker and the whole bit. So that's where I am right now. So let's play a couple of plays, okay, just to show you how the game flows. So my score is 7-7. I got a 2-yard run from Blount for New England, and then Jeremy Hill over here ran 48 yards to tie the game for Cincinnati. So New England has the ball after the kickoff. I am 2nd down and 5 from the 44 of Cincinnati. Okay, so I'm 2nd down and 5. I had a 5-yard gain from Lewis. So I'm going to select an outside left run. Okay, now there's a couple ways you can do it. You can select the rusher, or you can flip for the rusher. Okay, so I'm going to say LeGarrette Blount is going to be my rusher, and I'm going outside left. Okay, so outside left is long gain. Okay, outside left is long gain. So this is kind of going to resolve pretty quick. So I go over here. Blount long gain is a 5. So I come over here to my long gain column, and my long gain is a whopping 9 yards. Not so long, but that's how Hill got his touchdown. He got a long gain. His long gain was 70 yards. So from the 48, that's a touchdown. Okay, so Blount, it was a 5 long gain, so I get 9 yards. So I'm just going to write down, not that you need to see that, but Blount, 5 yards on the play. So it was 2nd and 5, so that's a 1st and 10 now. That's play 11 of the quarter. I play about 32, 33 plays a quarter. That's how I do it. If I have a timeout, I might do more. Okay, so if I gain 5 yards, so I go from the 45, so I'm on the 39, and that's a 1st down. So I get 1st and 10 from the Cincinnati 39-yard line. So now let's say I want to do a dive. But let's say I want to see who the computer picks or the cards pick. So I'm going to flip over here, and the first half, that is a 14. Okay, so 14, so 62 and less is Blount, so Blount gets the carry. Let's just go right side, okay? So inside right, DLT. That's not BLT like a sandwich, that's a DLT. So the defensive left tackle, I got to check. So my defensive left tackle is Pecco, if I'm saying his name right, okay? Defensive left tackle, and his run is a 24. So now, I flip this card over here, so I go to my rushing, and a 24, 19 to 25, 24 is 4 yards. So Blount gets the carry for 4 yards. So I'm at the 35. So it's going to be 2nd and 6 from the Cincinnati 35-yard line. That's kind of how things play out with a run. So you flip the card. Sometimes it'll tell you, so like over here, okay, so -3, simple. It's a -3-yard loss. 3-yard gain. -3, okay? Over here, I checked the defensive left tackle, long gain. So depending on the play you pick, it tells you what to do. It could be as simple as -3. Same thing over here. You pick your passes. Pass rush gets pretty intense. That's you got to go into the rule book and figure out what's going on with that. I haven't figured out that yet. Otherwise, middle linebacker, the question mark, you check the middle linebacker, that could be an interception. Interceptions get quite in-depth as well. There's several steps you got to do for that. So again, that's where the complexity of the game comes. It's not difficult, it's just deep. Over here, you would check the passer rating, or it could just be incomplete. So many things can happen off the fast action card, and then you got to dive into the rule book to see what happens, especially if it's something crazy, because there are different things here. So, but the rules are pretty good. So it'll tell you, X could mean a flag, plus, plus. You go to this column right here. Remember we talked about the plus and the plus column. So if it says plus plus, it's 8 yards. Okay. You have minus plus plus. So that would mean you lost 8 yards. Or a minus plus. You lost 1 yard. Okay. 3F means you gained 3 yards and then fumbled the ball. Minus 3 means you went backwards 3 of, plus the plus column, okay? So everything is pretty much spelled out. Red is a fumble, and blue means out of bounds. Now, on a fumble, so let's just say we ran that play was a fumble, 4 yards and a fumble. So I got to the 35 and I fumbled. So I flipped the card, and there's the recovery. Offense got the ball, okay? New England's fumbled 3 times in this game already. They've lost 1, and they got 2 back to keep the drive going. So I have fumbled 3 times already. 1 was off a pass. I passed to Gronk, and he fumbled. So there's quite a lot going on in here, especially for someone that just learned the game. It does seem to flow pretty well. It's just sometimes you start going down the rabbit hole. Is it intercepted? What's going on with the interception? Or if there's a pass rush? So you got to go down and look at all that. So let's keep it going. So 2nd and 6. Let's just keep it simple. I'm going to go a dive up the middle. I'm going to go D. I'm going to call my guy this. I'm going to go Dion Lewis up the middle with a dive. So 1F. So I believe 1F gained 1 yard, and I fumbled. So that's my 3rd fumble of the game. So Lewis, 1 yard and a fumble. So we're going to flip the card here, and the recovery is defense. So 1st and 10 now for Cincinnati on Cincinnati 34, because I got 1 yard and I fumbled the ball. So Cincinnati takes over now, going this way on their own 34-yard line. So that's how that works. So now I got Andy Dalton. Let's try a pass. Dalton's going to do a short left pass. No, we're going to go short. Let's go medium, because it's got an interception. I don't want to get into that just yet. That is pretty advanced. So I'm going to go medium pass. So a medium pass is the strong safety. So I take a look at New England. The strong safety is Patrick Chung. He has a pass of 24. So we check 24 on the pass chart. 9 to 30, short, medium, and long is, so basically every pass is complete if I'm reading the directions correctly. So that was what do we say? That was a medium pass. So 9 to 30, that's complete. So now I look at the strong safety. His pass reception number of Chung is 6. So now I flip this card, and for receiving, 6 on a medium pass is 19 yards. And now let's see who I threw it to. 13. So 18 and then this A.J. Green. So A.J. Green, and what did I say? That was 13 yards, I think I said. So Chung was, I always forget to write that down. Chung was a 6, 19 yards. So I think it was 19 yards. I could be wrong. I could have messed that up here, but that's okay. Just give you an idea. So 1st and 10 now. So if I'm at the 34, 5, 10, 15, 9. So now I'm at the New England 47, 1st and 10 for Cincinnati. So that's kind of how this game plays out. Okay, it's flipping the fast, calling the play, flipping the card, reading what's happening here. Then you either go to the chart and see what's going on, or like I say, if it's an interception, it does get a little crazy. I didn't want to do that because I haven't done that yet, but I have done some of the simple stuff here. So again, go to the card. If it says rusher on a outside run, you check the rusher. You check his rating. And then you come over here and you check the rushing to see what he did. Plus, minus, fumble, out of bounds, whatever. It's all right here. So you're kind of going back and forth here. Again, sometimes it gets pretty deep, especially the interceptions, because you got to check the interception number and then flip this and check that and see if it was intercepted. So there's the interceptions and a few other things get a little complex, and it even tells you in the rule books that this is going to be the most complex thing, but once you get it, you get it. So anyway, that's a little bit on how to play. Kickoffs, the kicker's got a rating. Both of these kickers are rated A, so if I flip the kickoff, you can see an A-rated kicker kicks it 2 yards deep in the end zone. Okay, then I could say, well, let's see who returns it. Okay, so for New England, a 64 on a kick return would be Danny Amendola, and he's got a rating of 12 on a kick return. So a kick return to 12, Amendola, 29 yards out, so -2 plus 29, so he'd bring it up to the 27. So that's how a kickoff would go. Field goals are kind of the same way. So Goskowski here, you can see you actually go by the yard line, which is a little simpler than adding 17. Okay, so if everything from the 5, in is 99%. 12 is 97%. So it tells you how far away. So if you were kicking a 32-yard field goal, you need 83. So you would flip this. The 87 is no good. It is no good. He missed the 32-yard field goal. Okay, so that's how the field goals would go. Extra points are here as well. And there's a few other things in here, penalties and punting, that I'm not going to get into right now. But I just kind of wanted to give you a first look on how Mean Gene plays and how it looks in the whole bit. It's really fun. It's just there's a lot, and I'm just getting into it. I've only been playing a few hours, so once you start getting into some of the symbols, and interceptions and fair catches and letting it roll and the whole bit, there's a lot of variety. It's just taking it all in and learning it. So anyway, I'm Dave, and that's a quick look here at Mean Gene's Matchup Football. I hope you liked the video, and hopefully I'll do another one once I get a little bit better at it. But anyway, that's a little bit on how to play it. Anyway, I'm Dave. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.